I tell people, come alone if you can't find a friend, because when you're in a comedy club, live comedy is so different from what you see on screen. And you're laughing together, the whole room gets a joke. There's unity about that. And there's like instant connection. And it feels good when you connect with other strangers. Like you said, like there's endorphins, there's like even your immunity goes up, right? Like there's so many health benefits.
One of the most important things you can have in life is a sense of humor. Humor is an integral part of resilience, and laughter can change us down to the cellular level. Now, there are many different types of humor. We can break it down in a very nerdy way, and I'll do that in the next podcast. But today, I'm so excited to have a special guest. Her name is Alyce Chan. You might know her on Instagram as MomComNYC. Go ahead and check her out. She's hilarious on and off stage. I've seen her headline a show. I've seen her do bits at one of my favorites, West Side Comedy Club. And I want to share her with you because it's really hard to find a good comedian, especially someone who's not R or X rated these days. So 2 things before you listen. 1, there is a trigger warning. We do talk about the topic of suicide, so be aware of that. And secondly, the sound is a little off. We tried our best to clean it up, and it's totally worth a listen, so just ignore it and listen. Hi, I'm Dr. Juna. I'm the host of MindBodySpace Podcast, where you can boost your resilience just by listening. I'm a mom, former neuroscientist, and radiologist, now specializing in mind, body, and lifestyle medicine. I'm here to share with you all the little mini habits that you can apply into yours and your family's life so that you can stay successful, organized, adaptable, and resilient. So if you haven't already, hit that follow button. Follow us on Instagram at MindBodySpace Podcast, and we have content for little kids on Instagram at BrainBunOfficial. Check out our resilience courses for everyone and bespoke programs for kids, including our Resilient Path to Elite Schools and beyond. And share this with anyone who could use some extra resilience right now. Alyce, how are you?
Should I call you Doctor?
No, call me Juna. You can call me Juna.
Okay. Dr. Juna or just June? Just Juna Bobby.
Yes.
Okay. Two first things.
Yes. And you're Canadian.
I know. I'm Canadian.
Why are Canadians so funny?
We have actually a little bit of British humor, and so we're very dry.
Oh.
We're very dry, and we like very like in-depth humor. Like, I'm not a fan of slapstick humor. My husband is, but he's also very American. No offense to that. Some people love that.
There's so many amazing comedians and so many funny movies and stuff that come out of Canada.
Sure. Sometimes you love this actor, or you discover someone you're like, they are Canadian.
Yeah. Yeah. I was noticing also Asian actors. Like Steve, the Korean guy,
right?
Steven, he was in that movie with Kristen Stewart recently. Steve Yeun.
Sounds familiar. I should know, my Asian actor.
I think he was famous from Beef.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And he's always on Conan O'Brien.
Really?
Conan loves him for some reason.
Yeah.
You know how Conan does travel segments?
Yeah.
He has one where he goes to Korea and he goes with Steven. So funny. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you have to watch it. So I found out he was from Canada too.
We're not surprised.
I love that you're my neighbor. I can't believe I ran into you. I don't even know how I started following you on Instagram, but I do follow comedians.
Mm-hmm.
So somehow you must have come up on my feed. I was following you. Then I saw you at the popular lunch spot in town.
I never go there. It's always so busy.
Yeah, because it's so crowded, right?
And I hate crowds. And I was coerced to go there. And I'm so glad I did. We tried to do like, if you go to that spot, you have to go early. Because I have to avoid crowds at all costs.
Really?
Yeah, I'm an introvert. I can't be with an
introvert.
I need my private space. I need one-on-one time. No, do big groups. And I don't go to parties and mingle.
Well, obviously, you would never think that seeing your Instagram feed.
Yeah, that's just funny. Yeah.
But how about on stage? Do you have stage fright ever?
Always. I'm always like right before my performance, I'm like, why am I doing this? I'm like, I feel sick. I'm like on my way. I'm like, I want to throw up. I don't eat. I pee 5 times. And then I have other comments. I'm like, why are we doing this? Okay, why? I think it's therapy for me. It's free therapy.
Okay, so you've been doing this. I was looking you up and doing some research. You've been doing this for like 12 years.
You
started
I span of 13 years, but I took 3 years break in between 13 years. So yeah.
But you started like seriously looking into stand-up, like, or you were doing,
I mean, I was had a full-time job when I was doing stand-up.
you were a banker.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. I was the marketing. I was trying to sell the mutual funds and make it sexy because my background is like visual designer or web designer, and I love film. So I ended up doing music. Doing
Amazing.
fun marketing, which killed my soul.
But that's amazing because you have a marketing background. Do you think that helps you with all of what you're doing right now? Because you're awesome.
Yeah, it's because you can just make a flyer in 30 seconds and I can make myself look good on a flyer, right? Like, pick that people out, darken my hair so I honestly grays, put a nice font, pick the best photo. Yeah, I'm the marketing team behind me and I promote myself, but I know how to promote myself. And
yeah, no, it looks great.
people are like, oh my God, you're everywhere. No, I'm not. I'm not getting too studies. It just looks like I'm everywhere.
Oh, I need some marketing tips from you. You know Zarnagarg, right?
Yeah, she's amazing.
So I went to her daughter's Zoya Sell Anything thing.
Yeah.
I just thought it was so funny that she was having this marketing thing in a comedy place, West Side Comedy.
Okay.
So I was like, I gotta go. It's in the middle of the day, lunch break. And she was so cute and sweet and so genuine. And yeah, then I went to see her whole family talk. I didn't even know their whole family was going to show up, but their whole family was there. Talked about how they marketed her. And I was like, oh my gosh, she has like an army of marketers who are like Gen Z who grew up on social media. I thought that was pretty amazing. And that kind of explained like how, well, she's massively talented, but I was like, wow, she has 3 people like helping with this, all this stuff. That was amazing. And so I thought, you had a team doing it, but obviously it's just you. You're amazing.
My 2 sons are useless. They won't. I always look at Zarno's kids. I'm like, why can't you be like that?
Well, because Zoya is, we're talking about Zoya Farge. Because her daughter Zoya is like the first child. So you get the first child who's a girl. Like you have 2 boys, right? So they seem totally useless.
They are.
But when are you going to have a third?
So the contract of the energy, his face looked like entrance of a third. Girls, I just cover my grays.
So I had my son and then my daughter, and my son is like a genius. But like, if I had my daughter first, I would have thought something was wrong with him. So the girls are so different. I mean, in so many ways, the communication and all that.
The way to speak to adults, that's 4 years old. They know what they want. They've got opinions. They can carry a conversation. My boys are like, hi, say hi.
So you really need an outlet, right? You got 3 guys in the house and you.
And a dog, that's a male. Like, too much testosterone, but they give me a lot of content. So I have to say.
Yeah, I was going to say, they also cooperate in some of your videos. I've seen them. It's so cute.
Shame down. You think they're doing that out of goodness and their heart?
Wow.
No.
Is it minimum wage or more?
More, girl. They're not Asian. They're not full.
Wow. Okay, so you actually pay them. I used to tell my kids I would pay them, and then I would say, you didn't do a good enough job. So I'm not.
Oh, I would get screamed at. I didn't even get paid by the company, and I have to pay you. Yeah. Like, okay.
But I mean, I buy everything for them. So it's like, wait, I just spent this many dollars on you.
Girl,
anyway, but I like the way you do it.
And it's better.
They should have a sense of like what it takes to earn a living.
Yeah, but I think it's crazy though. They expect more. They're negotiating. I'm like, seriously, you want that much for what's holding the camera? It's like, you know what I had to do when I was your age?
That's because we live in the town we live in Westchester.
I mean, even the tooth fairy, the price of the tooth has gone up to 20 bucks a tooth. I'm like, your tooth, I was like, staggle tooth. No one wants that tooth. Paying 20 bucks. Not much fun. It's like, I got 20 bucks last time. I'm like, who's paying me 20 bucks?
You're so funny. Okay, so you're my second comedian now. I hope to have more comedians on. Do you know Isabel Hagen?
I don't.
She was or is a Juilliard violist, and she became a comedian, and she just made an indie movie with Eric Bogosian. So she's like producer, writer, comedian, and that reminded me of you. You are also like producing, creating, writing.
Yeah, we have little movies on Instagram.
It's amazing. And wait, you were on the Drew Barrymore show? Was that like a skit you were in?
there wasn't. There actually was there as a real person because they were looking at
A real person.
they weren't even talking about my comedy. They were looking for a burnt out mom. I was like, and I told them that it was our anniversary and they're like, invite your husband. And my husband never shows up for anything. But I was like, we get to meet Drew Barrymore. And he's kind of pretty. He does the new camera stuff. He's not into that. And so I got there and she was so sweet. And she just kind of like asked like how I do it all. And but we don't go on date nights. Like this right here, being on the Drew Barrymore show at 10 a.m. is our date. But you know what? I'm giving you a night out. I'm going to pay for your babysitter. I'm going to pay for your dinner at your favorite restaurant and take care of that. I'm going to start crying because I'm like, no one's ever been so nice. And she like held my hand. You know the Drew Barrymore. She's like holding my hand.
Yes.
And at the end of the show, she's like, hey, but touch, okay? I'm not one of those people who just says hi and I just leave.
Oh my God, you do a good Drew Barrymore.
I know. It's like, I love love. And I'm like, I love you. And then I wrote her on Instagram, so can we never meet? And I didn't hear about it.
She's like, no, I don't.
I'm like, I don't think you want to. I know you mean it, but I don't think you have the capacity to keep in touch with every single guest that you have on the show. So I'm like, that's okay.
She probably doesn't check her Instagram
No,
DMs by
exactly.
herself. So I want to talk to you about how you started. I mean, I've always wanted to take a stand-up comedy course, and they're always at like 8 or 9 or 10 p.m. in New York City. And like, I've done all kinds of stuff. I've done Kung Fu. I've done ballet. I've done weird stuff.
I love that.
In New York, but I could never get to those comedy things because it was always at night. And then I was always a little scared, like who might be there.
You mean
So
in the class, like who you might meet?
Yeah, who my classmates might be.
You know, it's okay. You don't have to have lunch with them. You just spend 3 hours.
Well, I want to have lunch with you.
Yeah, we'll have lunch. But
Yeah.
I actually meet a lot of women and a lot of moms, even like after my shows, and they're like, "Oh, I just started," or someone's like, "I just did my first show," and I always encourage them to keep going because, and the classes are great because you learn the technical skill behind stand-up, how to make a joke work, why you need to pause, why it's important to get the audience on your side, how to do it, how to deal with hecklers, just all these little insights in the comedy world that once you have that foundation, then you start writing your own jokes. And there's also like a method in terms of like how to write your own jokes and taking your own experiences from it. And I love, and the more you do, it's like any type of exercise. Like when you said you did Kung Fu, the more you go, you just get better at it. And so it's a muscle. I've found a way to also make grief funny. Right? And I think it's such a skill set to make anything funny. You just have to do it the right way and you have to be sensitive to, got to be able to read the room. That's all, like I'm not going to be talking about certain things in 10 minutes and the crowd is like Gen Z, I'm not going to be talking like that. But I'll be talking about.
Yeah, so you had grief from your dad's passing away, right?
Yeah.
Was that how you started in comedy?
So, no, I started comedy. I started doing acting classes. And then I realized I'm like, who's still a fire, a late 20s Asian person? I'm just going to be doing commercials and extra work. So I was very realistic and also lazy. I'm like, I'm not going to be like friendly and go out to all these auditions and never getting the job, right? So I was like, I'm going to do improv. I started doing improv, loved it until I realized, hey, I'm an introvert. I don't like to compete with other people for the camera. And someone told me to just try stand-up, which I thought, no, that's going to be harder. But it's actually easier than improv because everything is already scripted in your head. You already know what you're going to say. So you already know what you're going to say. And you're not competing with anybody else on stage. So you're just by yourself. And you have all the time, 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 30 minutes. You know how much time you have. And the audience is listening to you because you're the only one on stage. So for me, I thought stand-up was a lot easier.
Interesting.
I was able to talk about so many things about my life. And my recent show in San Francisco, I wanted to hit a milestone in terms of my content. I was doing all these jokes, stand-up jokes. Okay, that was funny. But I want to talk about my dad who passed about a year. And
I'm so sorry.
thank you. And I wanted to create a comfortable space and a safe space for people who are in a sandwich generation, who are awesome caretakers, or who have just lost someone very dear to them, or losing a parent is something I've never experienced. So, so in San Francisco, we wrote the last part of the show. I was going to try to do the first two. I'm like, it's either going to fail, it's going to resonate. And there was a woman who was crying to the front, and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, or something. And she talked to me after. She said, my dad is in hospice. And it was very comforting to hear you talk about your dad. And that's what I wanted to do. Always want to connect with people. And this time, not just through laughter, but through also like experiencing grief, the journey, but also make them laugh about my experience. I mean, we're not laughing, but we're laughing. So I went through it, my experience. And it worked so well that when I got back from the show, I was like, that was one of the best shows. And I felt like I grew from that as a comedian. I took a pause, but yeah, it's I encourage you to take advice.
I wanted to do it because I did a lot of public speaking.
Yeah.
So I wasn't looking to be a stand-up. I was going to use it just for public speaking in general. Yeah. And I talk to a lot of younger audiences, so I'm always trying to make them laugh. And that's one of the things that I do.
Yeah.
So that's why. And I still want to take it. And I'm going to take it at the West Side Comedy Club if they have one.
They do.
For sure.
They have them ongoing all the time. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I definitely want to take it.
Yeah.
So as doctors, we just had the raunchiest sense of humor. You know, like we would just laugh, but it was always about like death and horrible, morose things because we were dealing with it every day. We had so many ridiculous things happen. Like I did my training at NYU. So one of my first medical rotations was going up to the prison ward and like, taking blood from the prisoners at Bellevue. One time when one of my best friends and she and I went up there taking blood from these prisoners, and we were in these little mini skirts and walking around like, oh, we need to take your blood. And then we hear this siren go off and we had to run because there was a fight breaking out and all these doors started slamming behind us. I mean, there's just ridiculous things happening every single day. My first psych rotation was seeing a guy who was testifying because he had murdered his mother, but he was hearing voices. So that, I mean, like, it was insane. So you have to have a sense of humor, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, it's not something that I thought I could share with the general public because it makes us seem so callous in some ways, but it was how we dealt with it, you know?
Okay, so a lot of information here. One, before and which is I have always been intrigued and visit a prison. I just walk and I just...
Well, I'm sure they would let you come and be their entertainment for that. I don't think that would be a tough gig to get.
I mean, I don't want it to them for that. But
you don't want to.
That could be a thing, but because I've seen so many movies about how scary a prison is. And you know, maybe I'm just sick in my head, but I've always I like to visit. I want to visit a prison. But
I know people.
You know, people inside.
My husband used to help women in Rikers. I bet you anything they would let you come and do a gig.
And you and I do a gig? Because
what?
You and I can do a gig. You can open for me.
I'm scared of prisons.
No. Well, they
oh, yeah, they're locked up. Yeah, no, you should do. That's funny. That's a weird fascination, though, to want to do that. That's interesting.
I'm very dark.
I think
you and I
but anyway, I have like a sick joke. So, for example, like sometimes things go through my head. I'm like, oh, but that would be too sick to say.
No, it's
like,
not.
For example, and this is terrible because you were talking about, you know, parents and like sandwich generation. Test you said? So, unfortunately, I lost my parents a while ago. Both of them.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. To like alcoholism when I was, just about to go to med school. And then my mom, when my kids were little, I lost her to suicide.
I'm sorry.
And so, thank you. I mean, like at the time, nobody else was losing their parents. So, you know, my friends were very nice to me and now the joke is like now everybody's losing their parents. And I was just like, oh, I did that a while ago.
Okay.
Isn't that terrible?
No, it's not.
practice.
It's not.
And I just laugh by myself in my head.
I'm laughing.
But I'm like, oh, that's sick.
It's not. I'm laughing with you because I think you have so much. You being a doctor, losing your parents, Harvard graduate, you've got kids at Harvard that graduate.
My son graduated, my daughter's at Princeton. And I just graduated from Harvard because I got another degree.
Okay. I'm geniuses, right? Project about your parents. Comedy is all about tragedy and pain, if you're willing to share it. Mm-hmm. But if it's your own pain, you're allowing people to laugh with you. Mm-hmm. It can be a very good joke that you crack because it's very unique. It's very just, it's, I can't tell that joke as I was for the freaking CD. It was time. But my joke about him was very different from the way you lost your dad, right? And so I think it's not dark. I think what you have there is the beginning of something great.
Thank you. I've never said that out loud to anybody.
I'm so glad you started that with me. I would love to just help you craft a joke about that. Like a story, like just story.
Oh my God! Thank you. That's so cool.
It's a very unique scenario, right? Because you also when you were young and then your mom's suicide. I know it's dark, but
you're very dark. Very
a way to talk about it.
That would be so cool because I find humor in everything. Like I told you, because we went through such extremes in training as young doctors, there is so much that we laughed at. And, and I think that's really interesting that you're talking about comedy and darkness. I'm a radiologist, so I look at disease from the inside out. It's horrifying.
Girl,
so it's horrifying.
You need to do some comedy. Stop it. You have... You can never see a radiologist, Asian, graduate from Harvard, all your stuff is going to be so unique. And you're funny, and you're dark. I know you're dark. That's like the perfect recipe for a good comedian. And then we'll go on tour together.
I was going to ask you that. What is the line between anger, frustration, and comedy? Because I know a lot of your comedy is like you're frustrated with mom life.
Yeah, they all kind of
and menopause.
They all intersect. You just never punch down. You never like if I talk about my kids or if I want to call them, let's say, can I say asshole? Like I'm just
your delivery. That's so funny.
My kids are assholes. People are gonna be like, oh, why would you say that? But I can say, hey, it's great to have kids. They're very honest. My 8-year-old was standing on the top of a chair. I was looking down on my hair. And I had a lot of white hair, right? My roots. And he goes, Mommy, it looks like a bird poops on your head. And it's great to have kids because gives you a reason to call them an asshole. But if I didn't tell them that my kid was, insulting me, I like to give them more of reason to safely laugh. Like you're allowed to laugh because my kid just said that to me.
Wow, that is a craft, what you just did. It's art.
What I just did.
I mean, the way you described it and the way you said, can I call him an asshole? That's so good.
Oh, thanks.
I'm so fascinated about how you go from, like you said, all these taboo topics and then turn it into something funny without you really, truly offending anybody. I mean, I guess people do get offended, but
people do.
But it's in comedy, right? Yeah. I was watching a lot of different comedians recently and I'm thinking it might have something to do with the place they're coming from. Like they have a big heart. Mm-hmm. For example, the way you said it, it didn't sound like you were a total jerk of a mom. Like you just sounded like, yeah, that was an asshole-y thing. But that fine line, again, is the art, right? Is that the art part?
And you totally get it. I'm not surprised. There's more. Comedy's for smart people. And I totally get it. Like, my husband frustrates me. He'll do things that annoy me. And then, he drinks water, he puts it down, but he drinks it. And then I'm like, there's 8 cups. And what I know, and I'm like, I'm going to make a reel about this. And I'm like,
I saw that one.
Right, yeah, I was mad. And I was like, you know what?
You're like, everybody's hydrated.
And I'm just putting extra cups.
You know what I did when everybody in my household did that?
Yeah, you turn off the water.
No, I threw out all the cups except for like 4. So everybody had one only. I hid them. I hid them. I threw out a lot of them, and then I hid a lot of them into storage. And then everybody had one plate, one spoon, one fork. I'm a minimalist.
Oh my God, I love that.
But mainly because I have to, because I get so angry. And then guess who didn't wash their plate?
Right.
Yeah. So I had to bring all the cups and everything. And I saw the reel where you were like, "Can you take out the garbage?" 30 seconds too long. So funny.
Yeah, and I get a little raging on my social media, and I think that's like therapeutic for me. I'm just like exaggerating. Like some people are like, "You shouldn't have to do that. You shouldn't have to film all your kids." I'm like, "It's comedy. I don't film all the clothes." Oh God, John, it's like sometimes I'm like, "Are you crazy? Like, you're obviously not smart."
Well, I love that you're taking all of this and making it into something funny and like relatable. And I think you were laughing because I said comedy is brain food.
Oh, which you think?
So yeah, I said that I think on one of our DMs, but I think, you know, I talk about the brain, I teach kids about their brains, and humor is something that I've always incorporated into my classroom.
Love that.
Because it's something that is literally medicine.
Yeah.
Right? So after each podcast guest, I have like a solo episode where I talk a lot about the science. So next week, I'll be talking about the neurochemicals that are released and also the laughing. You know, when you're laughing, you're doing something that your body never does otherwise, like your belly and all the way your diaphragm moves and your lungs. It's crazy. And like you said, it's a community thing. It's a social thing. Most people don't laugh alone.
You're right. You're right.
Like, even if you laugh when you're alone, it's in your head. It's not like you're laughing out loud, right?
And it's contagious. Like, if you're in a room, and, you know, like I tell people, come alone if you can't find a friend. Because when you're in a comedy club, live comedy is so different from what you see on screen. And you're laughing together, this whole room gets a joke. There's unity about that. And there's like instant connection. And it feels good when you connect with other strangers. Like you said, like there's endorphins, there's like even during immunity it goes up, right? Like there's so many health benefits.
And I think comedians are like healthier now because like the old generation, they were like doing so many drugs and they died off, and like now it seems to be healthier.
Yeah, I do it like once a week only now. I don't do drugs. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I'm a healthy.
Really? You don't drink?
I'm allergic.
So you have the Asian allergy thing?
Well,
I get stuffed up. There's this whole thing now with Asians. They take antihistamines and then they can drink.
Is that worth it? Like,
no, it's not. My dad was an alcoholic. It is not worth it.
And then you feel shit the next day. And it's like, well, I want to drink with other people and I get off eyes. I look so gross. I'm like, no. I'm like, you know what? If you have a good personality, you don't have to drink.
That's like one of our alcoholic friends used to say, like, grab a drink, get a personality.
Oh. My husband's like,
yeah,
he can drink, and he's all, I can tell when he's not, but everybody is like, but also, like when sober, he's fun.
Amazing. Yeah. Yes. You are flying around giving shows. How do you do all this?
I have a very supportive husband.
I talk a lot about mompreneurship. You must have an awesome work ethic. You must.
I must. I'm Chinese.
There's no way. You're getting all this done.
I overcompensate when I leave. I overcompensate.
And you also take them. I've seen you take them to your gigs too. It looks like on Instagram.
I feel bad when I do that, but I'm overcompensating. Like, all the trip. And that's called bike riding as a family. You know, like it's, and then they're like, we want to stay at this hotel. I'm like, that's really expensive. I can stay at like a Hotel 6. But with you guys, I have to now spend extra few $100. Like, I'm moving money when they come with me. But I'm like, hey, overcompensating, right? But I'm just so glad they're all so well hydrated. You know, but you know, the Gita with me, and it's not as because my husband would drive, then I just to work the drive. But also, like, it's not as I get lonely, you know, on the road. Yourself?
Well, I'm going to be your groupie now.
Okay. And we're going to go Rikers, right? We're going to have our first one.
First the Italian restaurant.
Let's do that.
First the Italian restaurant.
Let's work out your jokes.
Okay. Yeah, no, I could get you into Rikers probably. So before we go, I want to ask you, what is your process? Because in classrooms, I have the kids bring jokes. And a lot of these kids, they're really super smart. They spend a lot of time studying or practicing violin. And I would love for them to practice maybe even writing something. I used to tell jokes when I was in middle school. We used to move a lot. So when we went to like a new school, I remember being in the playground, telling my 3 jokes, and then people would instantly like me.
Okay, girl, you had the same because when I was like 9 or 10, I was very quiet. I got teased a lot, and I had 2 best friends. And my teacher's like, "You're a mute. You don't talk in class." She gave me like straight B's. I didn't do my homework. And she's like, "I'm separating you from your friends next year in 5th grade. And so you're going to have to make new friends." I'm like, how do I do that? And I studied a book of jokes. And my aunt gave it to me, called 101 Jokes. And I didn't know what I was reading, but I was like, I've got to reverse this shit and tell it to all the kids next day. And I took his dirty jokes to these boys. No one, like, the boys came up to recess just to listen to these shows. And that's when I felt, my first kind of felt validated for making people laugh. I think that's when I was like, I like to do this. And then I start being like a class clown. I did like impersonations of like Richard Simmons. But I get it, like the whole like jokes as kids, right? And making people laugh.
Wow, that's so funny. So you were always a comedian?
Yeah, I was.
What was your favorite comic? Did you like Mad Magazine? Did you like Saturday Night Live? What was your favorite thing then?
Loved it. Read all the Archie books.
Oh yeah, Archie.
Mad TV with Bobby Lee when he was like pretending to be Sandra Oh, like character sketches. Always loved Saturday Night Live. I love the classic Saturday Night Live.
Who's your favorite comedian right now?
Well, he counts. Norm Macdonald. He was Saturday Night Live.
Yes.
Kevin Nealon. Love him. So lovable and likable. Your Gap again. And football sandwich for like 40 minutes and just kill.
Do you like Seinfeld?
Love him.
He's one of the few people who doesn't say anything dirty. Like no cursing or anything.
No.
It's amazing.
No. Like it would be so off-putting if he talked about sex. Right? I wanted to talk about raisins. For like, I don't know.
Fins are a sock. The sock in the dryer.
Yeah.
He talks about Don't Break the Chain, where he wrote 3 jokes every single day and put a big X in the calendar.
Cool.
So when you come up with new material, usually is it something that pisses you off or is it something that made you laugh?
Usually it pisses me off. You get pissed off a lot.
I love it.
Yeah. I mean, I just become a serial nerd or comedian. A lot of stuff annoy me or piss me off.
How do you turn that into a joke? Do you write it down? Like, what's your process? Do you write it down or you try it with your kids or your husband?
Well,
like, what's happening?
My kids, because everything I say is not funny. They would destroy my career if I relied on them. I write it down and I just keep writing it. And then I should put it on stage. At some points, take it on stage and see what the feedback is with the audience. And sometimes I'll pivot and this sometimes it doesn't feel neutral and say something else. And if it works, based on the audience response, then I'm like, that one worked. And sometimes if it doesn't work, then you're like, back to the drawing board, I gotta rewrite that. I mean, you just rework it and tweak it. And there's this one joke that I did like 10, 12 years ago when I first started. And it was okay. And then I brought it. And I haven't said that joke forever. I brought it back. But it was so impromptu. And I changed the last word. And it was amazing.
Wow. Do you have like a file of jokes like on your computer? Or
I am very disorganized. Usually it's in here. But then every show I'll write, this is my 1 hour set. This is my 10-minute set. So every time it's a new time limit, I'll have like separate jokes. And then sometimes it makes me too nervous to write everything down, and I'll just like do bullet points. I'll be like, first section, just my mom and dad, second section, kids, here are these punchlines. So I just kind of like have to remember the keywords and write down as I go.
Wow.
Yeah.
You do 1 hour sets. That's unbelievable.
When I headline, I do an hour, but a lot of it is 20% is like crowd work. So I like to get my crowd, it's so every show is different based on the crowd. But I get from them. And the better and the more engaged the crowd is, the better the show is.
This was so much fun. Really excited to have this time with you, Alyce.
Thank you
so
much for joining.
Oh my God, are you kidding? Thank you. I can't wait to hang out with you in town.
Oh, we're doing it, girl.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's plan a date.
Okay, thank you, Alyce.
Yeah, thank you. You're the best.